What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of Mom and Papa Joe. Today we are going to be doing a quick IBCA competition practice. Just trying to fine tune a few things in preparation for a huge cook-off coming up. If this is your first time checking out our channel, we appreciate you stopping in. Please take a look around. We think you're going to enjoy what you see. Be sure to check out our competition playlist. It includes a lot of trimming and many other competition tidbits. Hit that subscribe button, tell a friend. We really appreciate it. Thank you as usual to our loyal subscribers. Let's get started. First thing we're going to start with is our brisket trimming. I've got a small 11.82 pounds prime. Nothing special. Again, this is just a practice. I will get this cleaned up. I'm not going to be showing you the prep. Like I said, check out our competition preps. I've got some links in the description box below, as well as our competition playlist. Let me get this thing prepped. Alright, so here we are with a quick comp trim. And this baby is ready to go, man. She trimmed out pretty nice. Alright, so next we've got Smithfield ribs. These are the ribs I'm cooking 9 times out of 10 at a competition. I like whole spares, and I St. Louis them myself. Again, you can check out these videos in the description box below. Let me get them cleaned up. So these 2 racks ended up being 2 pretty nice racks, man. Evenly thick. Decent marbling. I've removed the membrane, and outside of this little bit of damage right here, they're almost comp worthy. So these are the chickens of choice for me for competition. I love the HEB all natural birds, and I love to be in that 425 to 43 weight range. At this point, I really don't worry about wingtip so much. I love them with the wingtip, but they're hard to find. So I just try to find the best chickens I can find, and hopefully the skin around this neck area is there and intact. Let me get these cleaned up. All right, here are our 2 halves. I trimmed out fairly nicely. And one of the things about these birds, man, I don't know if they weigh them different on different scales or whatnot, because this 425 looks a little bigger than this 426, or vice versa. But nevertheless, got nice breast skin coverage all the way around. Clean up that ragged back end as best as you can, and we're going to be looking at injecting and seasoning these in a few minutes. There's so many injections out there in the market, folks, when you start talking about competition. Cosmos, Texas oil dust, Talk Texan full of bull. All these are Lucky Charms. I mean, there's some awesome products out there. You can't go wrong with any of them. So find one that works for you and figure out how you're going to use it. I have got all of the fancy injectors, man, but I always seem to come back to my disposable syringe from Academy. No right or wrong way to inject. It's all about getting it in there, moving that needle around. This was 2 cups of injections, folks. Also make sure I get that little point muscle underneath, because I love to turn them both. This is a small brisket, so I'm going to have some leakage, but I will still attempt to inject all 2 cups. You're not going to over inject. This brisket will only hold what it can hold. Pro tip, when you're done injecting, before seasoning, give your brisket about half an hour or so. That way, whatever is going to oozes out and does not take your rubs with it. So again, I start with another 2 cups of injection. And folks, when you're building your injections, when you're experimenting, you've got to be willing to think outside the box. What you're trying to do is separate yourself from other folks. Those same products that I mentioned, you know, the Cosmos, the LLC, the Lucky Charms, Talk Texan, Oil Dust, they've all got great products, but you've got to find a way to use them and make yours just a little bit different than everybody else's. So I've got 2 cups for 2 racks. That's all I cook. I like to inject from the front side, and I love this long needle because it gets me all the way across, and I don't have to poke holes up tops, holes that can leak, holes that can wash off your injections. It's not a deal breaker if you have to inject from the top with a shorter injector, but I prefer not to. I don't know how well you're able to see, but man, I've used all 2 cups on these 2 racks, and they're nice and plump. Alright, so I like to season my ribs fairly late. I don't like the seasoning sitting on them too long, so I'm looking at probably an hour and a half before they go onto the pit before I season. Alright, time to season. And man, this is your options are so numerous, so many awesome products out there. I'm not going to even attempt to name any because I might leave out somebody, but find a couple of rubs, 2 rubs, 3 rubs that really complement each other, and you'll find that you do very well. I'm using a mustard binder, a very light coat. I am seasoning my non-presentation side first. So when I turn it at a cook-off, I am meat side up, so that's the side that I want to be nice and pretty. So I'm seasoning fat side first. At home, this fat side is usually now my presentation side. So I will put all my 3 seasonings on each side before flip. So I'll put 3 layers on this fat side and then flip. That way I don't have to flex and torque my presentation side. Now we don't have to worry about those sides. We're going to give this as long as it takes to get a good sweat. I want this to be completely wet before we do anything else. Alright, our brisket has a beautiful sweat going, man. This combination of rubs I use really came together well, I think. The pit is preheated. I place my brisket on a rack simply to make maneuvering a little easier, not having to touch and flex the brisket, moving it around as I rotate. Let's head outside. All right, the Jambo is preheated to about 290. That's where I like to run at competition, 290 to 300. I'm gonna place it in my sweet spot, and probably won't look in that for another give or take 2 hours or so. All right, so time to get these ribs seasoned. I've dried off on meat side down, as you can see. If you're going to use a binder, I suggest you dry off any injection that might have been left on them. You can use your injection as a binder. If that's the case, you want to leave some on. I'm going to use mustard once again. And again, it's not going to be a lot. And once again, I season the backside first, because once I flip them over, I don't want to have to bend and torque and mess up that beautiful even layer. Remember, this is competition and appearance counts. All right, let's get this this meat side knocked out. Same process. I'm telling you, these are two pretty thick racks, man. All right, we're gonna call this good, man. They're just thicken up. Make sure they're in the position we want them to cook in. Sometimes they twist anyway. We're now gonna give this enough time, 30-45 minutes, just to sweat in. Ready to go. All right, let's get our chickens injected. These are my 2 comp halves. This half is a half that I would never think about turning in. I just put it on the pit as a heat sink. The tenderloins are split and exposed, so it just serves as a heat sink. But I still show it some love. No right or wrong way to inject. You find what works for you. Some people lift up the skin. You just have to do what works for you. All right, so these birds are just going to sit and sweat now for a couple of minutes before they go onto the pit. Oh, those babies have got a nice sweat going, man. Let's get them on the pit. All right, time to get this puppy wrapped. All right, let's get this chicken show on the road. Little piece of pecan. And we are a go. It's probably time to wrap these ribs. Love to wrap it that color right there. Let's get them inside. All right, we are pretty much ready to get these sauced, man. Absolutely beautiful. Let me get a tray. wings like to pop up. Wingtips look so much better. We're giving this bird a few minutes to relax, man. Folks, yes, it is injected, but that feathery texture is what we're looking for, man. It really indicates a nice tender piece of chicken. Oh, Oh, flavor all the way through. That injection is awesome. Build some skin. That leg perfectly cooked, man, moist. Absolutely delicious. That was my buddy Gene just knocked on my garage door. Papa's done it again. All right, folks, time to check these ribs. Let's see what we're looking like. Oh. Woo. All right, we are where we need to be, man. That's a beautiful rack of ribs right there. That is a beautiful rack of ribs. Oh, the sun is driving me crazy, man. But tell me you don't want to sink your teeth into 3 or 4 of those bones right there. Let's get these things sliced. Man, I hope the lighting is doing these babies justice, because these are absolutely beautiful. This is my rack with the butcher twine. So my cover rub, I definitely want to keep track of this. Let's get them sliced. Not the right size tray, but it will do. I'm loving these. Don't know what the camera is going to show in terms of color, but man, they're beautiful. All right, so I'm going to be slicing again with my electric knife. That is what I slice with at competitions. I am just so much more steady. At home, I prefer my my handheld traditional knife. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think a successful practice. It tastes, I'm not a fan of competition food, but this all tasted very, very good. So we shall see. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe once again. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments below. And once again, if you want more information, more detail about trimming or other competition points and tips, don't hesitate to check out our competition playlist. There's probably some 10, 12 videos in that playlist. If this was your first time, don't hesitate, guys. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate your support. I want you guys to take care of yourselves, love each other, and we will see you when we see you. Holla.